Good morning. You are watching the Peace TV show. I'm Eliana.
I'm Leila.
I'm Iris.
I'm Yun.
Today, our topic will focus more on the international situation. Recently, Eastern Europe has been characterized by confusion because Ukraine showed its willingness to join NATO. Russia fell flat. Since the Ukrainian independence, the Russian Federation has not been pleased with Ukraine's decision to join forces with the West. Therefore, President Putin began to wage war on Ukraine. Due to the worldwide pandemic, many countries faced their biggest inflationary spike in over 4 months. To make matters worse, at the same time as the economic slowdown, the Russia-Ukraine war broke out and ended in two injuries. This economic crisis had far-reaching effects. Energy, grain, and other severe supply chain disruptions also had a negative impact on the entire world. We have seen price hikes on all fronts of energy such as crude oil, petroleum, and gas, and it is not only the energy market that has suffered. Industry such as those that make the components for semiconductors, for example, have also seen massive disruption, which in turn have had negative impacts on the quality of life for many people. Moreover, these challenges are not only unique to Eastern Europe, but are worldwide. When Russia began its assault on Ukraine, countries the world over began imposing severe economic sanctions on Russia and banned transaction with Russia's business. Each consequence of an invasion is predictable. Therefore, we can't help but wonder why the war started seemingly out of nowhere. However, Leila can help us with the reason.
Before the Soviet Union disintegration, Ukraine was ruled by two countries, Soviet and Poland. Hence, these were two major differences between the east and the west of Ukraine. In eastern area, ruled by the Soviet, this was a band on speaking Ukrainian and a Russian belief Orthodox. In west of Ukraine, people communicate in Ukrainian and Christianity was the major belief. In addition to the above reason, people in east and the west of Ukraine showed respective preference to alliance. The Ukraine applied to the EU in 2013 and EU in 2014. However, neither of them were not supported by all countries. EU disidentified the West Ukraine people. EU were not welcome among East Ukraine public. In the end, Ukraine government decided to join EU and so finally a seed of disintegration.
With the purpose of resisting Russia's threat, Ukraine has applied to join NATO. That's what people believe the last row on the camel. Let's take a look at NATO. The significance of its establishment was to fight against the Soviet Union. Most of NATO's members were Central and Eastern European countries, which joined after the Cold War ended. But now, the meaning has completely changed. The pace of military expansion is getting faster and faster. The disintegration of the Soviet Union and the dissolution of the Warsaw Pact were key reasons for NATO's eastward expansion. NATO expanded 5 times, including 2 eastward and 3 northward. Eastward expansion in 1999 and 2004. In 1999, there were Poland, Czech Republic, and Hungary. In 2004, there were the 3 small party countries, Slovakia, Romania, and so on. Northward expansion in 2009, 2017, and 2020. In 2009, there were Croatia and Albania. 2017 has Montenegro. 2020 has North Macedonia.
The active expansion of NATO has caused tension in Russia, and Russia's attitude toward Ukraine is the same as China and Taiwan. The following is a list of similarities, concerns, and suggestions of the assumption. During the war, Russia justified itself by claiming Ukraine was its own land. And China also keeps advertising Taiwan is an inalienable part of the inviolable territory of China. Another similarity is that both Taiwan and Ukraine raised military funds from the USA, the imaginary enemy of China and Russia. Before the Ukrainian-Russia war, no one believed it would happen. But when the war took place, everyone was shocked, and let us connect the relationship between Taiwan and China. Whether China will attack Taiwan seems to be possible. And if China attacks Taiwan, what should Taiwan people do? Here are my two suggestions. First, completely put national defense education into the real practice. And the second, the lessons of national defense should be applied in every level of school. Take Anguan exercise for example. Only soldiers are involved. The rest of citizens were ignored. If everyone on the island could join the exercise, we are not only knew what we could do during war, but also possible to effectively deliver ideas through education.
To conclude, we understand the reason behind the conflict and the effect on the people of each of the nations involved in the tragic affair. The Taiwanese people need to monitor and pay closer attention to the evolving situation in Eastern Europe. Lastly, we need to remain united and understand the future consequences this war might have on Taiwan. Thank you for your listening. See you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.